Hello, Christoph. Thank you for joining in today.
Thank you for having me, Priya.
Pleasure. So, thank you again for the acceptance for being panelist of Corporality Summit. We really appreciate your contribution. I'm going to ask you, before we jumped into all that, what's the reason to join and what is all this event about? I would like to ask you, what made you think to become an entrepreneur?
Look, that's a very interesting question you have there, Priya. Look, at the end of the day, one of the key factors I found in aspiring to do what we do is doing something we're inspired by and what we love. So
Right.
being an entrepreneur, I found that it would actually allow me to be able to engage on doing what I do at a higher level and fill some of the voids and values that I have in regards to problem solving.
Right.
And one of the key factors around that is technology allows for that sort of high level of problem solving through automation, through innovation, etc. So for me, it was one of those things where I went, okay, well, I'm not actually doing something monotonous. I'm doing something that I'm inspired by, and I can see the value of my service to those who consume it. And we make a big change in people's lives. And so for me, that was one of the things that inspired me considering all the commercial aspects. So for that element, absolutely, education, service, and being in front of being able to help others is something that's been something inspiring me to do better. And by doing that, obviously, I get comfortably rewarded for it.
And I mean, cybersecurity is getting a biggest challenge right now as we are getting more digitalized and all. And you chose a really right path. To be honest, it's gonna be a very big booming industry, and it's another way of helping people who are being part of it. By being part of technology is a fun. It enables you, but at the same time, there are different kind of challenges. Which was very interesting when I hear your story and why you choose on that area. What do you think about brand positioning? How do you brand position yourself?
Very interesting point. And I'll actually refer back to what you were talking about. When you talk about a topic or you talk about an industry, they're kind of intertwined but not aligned, if that makes sense. So, being in technology, often people can misconstrue what technology is. We certainly have one portion of that being cybersecurity. So what you do about brand positioning is to actually be able to educate. That for me is the key element, right? So when you talk about brand positioning, it's having people be aware of you as a thought leader and being able to support elements of what a day-to-day requirement in an organization will be by being that brand leader. And so by doing that, people consider you as a primary source. So for that perspective, that's why I see brand positioning as a primary source. So being in front of people, being able to actually assist. And if I'm honest with you, Pri, one of the best things you can do is walk into a room and have people notice you and recognize you before they've ever met you. So one of the favorite things I do around my brand positioning, and to your question, is being able to educate and not necessarily receive any return of service from that. So that's just being able to provide information, that's being able to be that thought leader and be that topic authority so that people can help listen to what you talk about. And again, to that question around brand positioning, it's about being simplistic. Making things complex can often mean that people turn off. So making sure that you're informative, making sure that you're simplistic, making sure you're available are the three brand positionings that I definitely like to induce.
Right. And when it comes to actually creating the awareness, what do you think about going to, we are joining this whole event thing and we believe in it because in-person event is going to be more important, going forward. I know Zoom has no replacement. Look at this, we are talking, but at the same time, it's going to the in-person events are going to make a lot of difference when it comes to the building the trust and, building that collaboration and relationship. What do you think about what made you think to choose to go to the events?
So let me break that down into two separate points. So the pandemic has obviously changed and given us an opportunity to be really aware of how digital interaction and digital communication has evolved. And if you were to look at the cost of a Zoom share prior to the pandemic and then post-pandemic, you can just see the exponential increase in the value of them and in the market. Does that replace person-to-person communication? No, we are humans
Right.
at the forefront. You cannot replace a person-to-person communication in actual contact. That is just something as humans we crave. In fact, that's one of the highest points of our ecosystem as humans. We need to be able to connect with humans, and you can connect by a certain amount with people over a digital medium such as Zoom, such as Teams. You know, they're just a few to name within the portfolios available. But nothing will ever stop the best interaction of human to human contact. And if you talk about the events such as Corporality that we're talking about, the summit, it's the ability to mingle with like-minded people that you can actually be part of conversations. You don't need to. And the other thing is that Zoom, such as we are on right now, is person to person. When you talk about an event, you talk about multi-person to single person events, right? By just contact and energy, you actually elevate your energy. And that is a massive difference, right? You cannot emanate your energy via a digital medium. And that's why I love doing these sort of events, because you can actually connect with people, feel their energy, get inspired, get involved in conversations that you wouldn't necessarily have been participant to. You could walk past a group and be involved in that conversation. And that is exactly these sort of events that make the difference, because, you know, one-to-one, wonderful, great to connect, doesn't give you that engagement that you really lack as humans.
And what would you like to say about Corporality Summit? Like, why this particular event you chose?
Look, for us, engaging with organizations is one of our key, you know, fundamental core values. For us, it's core of service. This event is all about understanding organizations, supporting them, finding their business in a way that will actually elevate them to the next level. And so that's the pitch. That conversation is a very different one to many of the tech events that I speak at, or many of the events that I actually get invited to. So for me, this one's going to be all about engaging with organizations to help them achieve their next level of achievement, literally. And I'm doubling up on words there. But it's also that ability to share insights. You know, it's completely different industries across there, different level of management, different owners, etc. So it's always great to see that variation across the whole event. There's 3-day event. It's not just a small event. So it's a big event. And that's what makes a big difference, right? You are able to participate in so many different formats in this event. You know, it's from leadership, from financial, from technology. They're all there. The industries are covered, and people can take advantage of those industry specialists and then be able to engage with them.
Right, great. So before we close, what would you like to say to the audience?
Listen, education is everything that I'm about. So if you are interested in learning a bit more about the technology cyberspace, feel free to reach out. But my main thing, I love to say this, Priya, is think before you click. The bad men are out there. The boogeyman is out there. So please be mindful. If you see any SMSs, any emails, etc., that seem suspicious, don't think twice, delete.
And we would like to cordially invite all of the people who are listening today, and we would like to see you business owners to, you know, 3 days. It's like a lot of fun, you know, food networking, collaboration, pitches night, the variants we are bringing. You have to come up with the open-minded. Thank you so much, Christopher, today to helping us.
Pleasure, Priya. I look forward to seeing you in person at the Corporality Summit in only 2 weeks.
Yes, looking forward to that. We are very excited.